month for the last 3 years at 7 o'clock usually.
Yes.
So this is convenient. We can attend both.
Okay. Bimal Parmar ji हैं. Sir, good
For
evening.
the last 3 years.
Muted
at
हैं.
7 o'clock usually.
Good
Yes.
evening, good evening, Vijay bhai. Nice to be here. Nice
Good
to see
evening.
everyone.
Good evening, Vimal ji.
Good evening, Satish. Good
Good
evening.
How are you?
Looking forward. All good, all good. Looking forward.
Yes, yes.
So 4:30 is not a problem for our friends to join webinar on Sunday. Somebody can respond.
No, sir.
Okay.
4:30 is good enough.
We were wondering whether on a Sunday 4:30 people are busy with friends or 6:30 they are busy with family. So 4:30 is fine. Looks like.
4:30 is fine.
Fine, sir. No problem. Both are good.
Fine.
photography में कोई webinar चल रहा है
ಆಯ್ತು ಇನ್ನು ಇದು ಶುರು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಂದು ಯಾಕೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು YPS ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು
ಗಿರೀಶ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ
वाला सब liquid और dead पेज 1 2 जो है हाँ हाँ
Last week Satish was here in Trivandrum. I think he enjoyed.
Yes, sir, very much. In fact, I was telling to my son, I met you and discussed about 3D and we had a good time in the evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Satish, how many days were you in Trivandrum?
70%.
I was there for about actually 8 days, but I went to Kollam also, Tenmala, Kollam and other places.
I'm from Trivandrum, you know.
9% कर दीजिए.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, from Trivandrum city.
Oh, I see. We could have met in one of the evening.
You never informed.
इसको तो अब जो है उसको
No, actually I was almost about 18 hours I was busy in a day. So I was going at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and returning back by 8 o'clock. One day I got a chance to meet Mr. Nair, sir.
हाँ क्योंकि वो बाकी हम भेज चुके हैं.
Okay.
We'll meet again. I'll come.
Please do.
And day after tomorrow I am leaving to Kollam, Kannur.
So right now are you in Trivandrum? Right now?
No. Bangalore. Back to Bangalore.
निकाल दीजिए उनका रख दीजिए ऐसा मत करिए. ऐसे ही तो हम $60,000 उनका निकाल दीजिए 60% 60 और मेरा भी.
Looks like everybody is going to Kerala now. I was speaking to one Mr. Hitesh Patel from Ahmedabad yesterday. So he has also just returned from Kerala.
Now very good weather in Kerala, sir.
Yeah. Pleasant.
Very pleasant and excellent lighting.
Hitesh was planning to come in August when I stopped him because of the rains.
So YouTube live streaming is also there now. YouTube live streaming has started.
हाँ इसमें तो अभी 53 है ना.
हाँ सर मतलब it's already as a process that has also gone for. Now, those who want to join there, they can be. But अभी तो 53 हैं sir इसमें.
$1,00,000 यदि होता है और अभी वो 40 भेजेंगे. स्टार्ट विथ हमको लगता है कि कल उनका पूरा रिडीम कर दीजिए और मेरा इक्विवेलेंट अमाउंट का जो वर्स्ट परफॉर्मिंग है उसको रिडीम कर.
मेरा if
60 दोनों का. हाँ हाँ और फिर कल
background
उसको एसेस करेंगे.
विवेक
थोड़ा सा भी 20% तो फिर सरकार को हमको देना पड़ेगा.
शाहिद हाशमी
20% सरकार को देना पड़ेगा ना TDS. TCS हाँ 20%. $3 भेजे ना तो $60,000. हाँ TCS ले नहीं ये अभी
मिनिमायझेशन ती माझी इंग्लिश टीचर आहे ना. मिनिमायझेशन मला लेक्चर दिले. लेक्चर म्हणजे टॉपिक.
there are some background voice requesting all to mute their mic if there is any discussion going at the background.
Tirthadas Gupta sahab, good evening and welcome. आपका वेबिनार के लिए हम लोग हमारा वेबिनार का टाइम चेंज कर दिए.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. हमारा every third Sunday normally होता है. That is more or less fixed until and unless there is a problem with speakers' timings. We always keep it on third Sunday evening.
Yeah, we will keep it in mind in future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Tito Dasji.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you? I am happy still
Okay.
you have your elephants at the back.
I'll change it for my webinar after this.
No, it looks lovely. Let it be.
No, today it's on flowers, so I've got a background with flowers for
Oh,
my
okay.
webinar.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
So I think it's already 4:29.
Yeah.
So should we start, sir?
Yeah, just
Or
few
wait for one
seconds.
more minute?
Few seconds more.
Yeah.
We're 56 so far.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm
Hello.
Anjana Shukla from Dubai at this time.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, who is speaking?
Yeah, I am Anjana Shukla from Dubai.
Oh,
hello,
I
welcome,
attend your
welcome.
all webinars. Yeah. I am an not professional.
Okay.
I'm not professional, but I learned so many things from your webinars.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Most
your
of the people
webinars are
present here are not professional photographers. They are all hobbyists.
yeah. Thank you, all of you.
so
Fine in this
shall we
group.
begin, sir, now?
Yes, sir.
4:30?
Yes, sir.
So I'll put the mics on mute, all mics on mute. And then Vijay sir और Satish sir, आप लोग अपना unmute कर लीजिएगा.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
So good evening, friends. A warm welcome to this webinar. North India is shivering with the cold, a lot of fog, and it's very chilly weather. Flights getting discontinued, trains running very late. So altogether a different mood in the northern India, all over. And I'm sure the south is enjoying a wonderful, pleasant weather nowadays. So we all come from different part of the country. So welcome once again all to this webinar of Chhayankan on wildlife lessons from the wild by Satish sir. So there are many new members in every webinar who join. So I would be giving a small brief about Chhayankan, and followed by that, Bijay sir will be giving an introduction of the guest, and then our expert speaker Satish sir will be presenting his webinar. After the webinar, which is likely to last for about 90 minutes, question answer session will be there. So all the questions so far put in the group, Satish sir has taken a note of that, and he will be answering it directly to the participants who have asked. And also during the webinar, if you are asking question, you can place in the chat box, as well as you can raise your hands in the during the question answer session. When the presentation is going on, no questions will be taken and no question will be answered other than what has been asked earlier. So once again, warm welcome to all, requesting all to keep your mics muted so that no background disturbance affect the webinar. Chhayankan was set up in 2019, some more than 5 years, some 6 years back, a modest beginning with an objective of promoting creative and social photography. During last 5-6 years, it has moved miles ahead, and now with over 3,000 plus members spanning all over country and 12 other countries, we have a strong photography community who are sharing their work, who are sharing their ideas, they are exchanging their views in many ways. We have 6 active purpose-specific WhatsApp group, which is contributing strongly to the entire network of the community, photography community. Those who are interested in a particular process, they join. Each of the group are contributing strongly. Besides this WhatsApp group networking and sharing of knowledge, ideas and everything, Chhayankan also does photography workshops in which members join, and they are making beautiful portfolios and pictures, and most of them are making a lot of awards and acceptance all over. Besides that, we do the webinar, online training programs, and some more new initiatives which are likely to come in time to come. We are a very open organization, always connected with the members. Members always feel free to connect with us, share their thoughts, share their ideas, and we have been responding them well. So all are warmly welcome with your ideas, thoughts, but definitely keeping in mind the group objectives, and then you can always reach to me directly. So with this small background, I would like to introduce the co-founder of Chhayankan, Shri Bijay Agrawal, and also a big contribution from, I will always like to recognize that, acknowledge that, both of us will acknowledge it, Gurdas Dua sir and Anil Risal Singh, who were behind the idea of Chhayankan. Then we have a panel of 10 experts who have been also actively contributing. Satish sir is going to today present this webinar. He is also one of the experts in our panel. Now I invite Bijay sir to introduce our today's expert, Satish sir.
Thank you, Amitabh. Thank you. Good evening, friends. First, we thought it will not be necessary to introduce Mr. Satish again, who was with us 2 months back. But when we opened the group, means announced about this webinar, another 50-60 new people joined. So I do not know how many of them know Mr. Satish this thing. So we thought we will give a brief introduction of Mr. Satish for the benefit of these new members. As you know, Mr. Satish is a very well-known wildlife photographer. And right from childhood, like when we were playing with toys, he had an interest to play with light. And the art of playing with light and presenting ordinary things in extraordinary perspective and portrayal of nature in its detail, finest detail, was his best pastime right from childhood. At the age of 12 itself, he started playing with light and playing with camera, producing extraordinary images. In his journey, he has got many international honors and distinctions. It is a very big list. I will mention very few. He has got ARPS. When a few of our new members, they do not know what is ARPS, so I will little elaborate. Right? ARPS is Associate of Royal Photographic Society of UK. He has got EFIAP, that is Excellence in Photography, from Federation International of Art Photographic, that is an international organization whose headquarters is in Luxembourg. Then he has got MFIAP. Very few people they reach that level. And MFIAP is Masters of Photography by the same FIAP. We have, Satish Saab, how many MFIAP we might be having in India?
When I got MFIAP, I was still I am the youngest to get MFIAP. That time I was the seventh. Now probably there must be some 14 people also.
Yes,
maximum.
very handful
14 or
of people have got MFIAP in our country. It is one of the most prestigious distinctions anybody can have. Then he has got MICS, that is Master of Photography by Image Colleague Society, whose headquarters is in California. Then he has got PPSA, that is Proficiency of Photographic Society of America. Then he has got Competitor Master of Light, that is CMOL, that is an association from Canada. And besides this, he has got honorary fellowship from many clubs in our country who have conferred fellowships upon him. Some have conferred master's distinctions to him. But we must note, it must be noted that he is the first Indian to be honored with EFIAP and MFIAP in nature color prints. And when he got MFIAP, he was the youngest Indian to receive that award. That was really quite a feat. Then he is the first Indian to get 2 masters of photography from world bodies for photography, for nature photography. He has won more than 1,375 awards so far, and got 5,000 and 5,600 plus pictures have got accepted in different countries. He has got gold medals from China, Scotland, Austria, Finland, California, Romania, France, and many other countries. He is a regular judge. He is invited as a judge for many national and international salons. He has so far judged 70 international and 40 national photography exhibitions, including a national level photography competition organized by the photo division of INM Ministry in India. Mr. Satish is Karnataka's state artist, an award given for his achievements in the field of art photography by Karnataka Lalit Kala Academy. Many of his pictures get regularly published in magazines, national and international, in different catalogs, newspapers, books. His pictures regularly grace uh, guidebooks brought out by Outlook Traveler and Today, that is Travel Plus magazine. He also conducts nature and wildlife photography workshops regularly. He has so far organized 23 wildlife workshops in Bandhavgarh, Kanha, Sapal, Munsiari, Bharatpur, Kaziranga, Tadoba, Bandipur, Ranthambore, and many other national parks. Besides that, he also trained beginner photographers by taking practical classes in jungles. So far, more than 600 students have attended his classes, and they are benefited practically from the practical classes. It is kind of workshop he takes in jungles. And Andhra Pradesh Academy, means where I was vice president at that time, has published a special book on the wildlife photography journey of Mr. Satish. And I remember that was first time we had published a book, somebody means who is out of Andhra Pradesh, and he was the first person from South India whose book was published by our Andhra Pradesh Academy. He served as office bearer of one of the most prestigious photography club of our country, one of the oldest and most prestigious club, which stands number one in India almost every time. And he served on different as a office bearer in different posts, but as a president also he served YPS for 7 years. It was quite a good and this is his 48th webinar. He has already given 47 webinars. Out of that, 3 were in our platform, Chhayankan. This is his 48th webinar so far. So I will request Mr. Satish to take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for a wonderful introduction. In fact, you could have told whatever you know about me very simple and very easily. Thanks a lot for that. And first of all, I should thank Chhayankan, particularly Amitabh ji and BK Agarwal ji for giving me opportunity to showcase my wildlife images to all the enthusiastic photographers. So friends, I welcome to this webinar on lessons from the wild. In fact, I am going to talk about basics about wildlife photography and how to capture better images and how to make more pleasing images using good processing. So usually what happens whenever we go to wildlife outings with friends or with our own photographic journeys to jungles, we often forget to see that how the animal behaves or the bird behaves or things like that. So basically for any wildlife photographer, I would say that 80% of our photography depends on knowing about the behavior of animals and birds. Until and unless you know about this, don't venture into the jungles, because the advantage of knowing these behaviors is you can guess, you can anticipate for very good images or very good behavioral aspects of birds and animals. So knowing about this also saves you from attacking by mock charging or attacking things like that from animals, because once if you know their mode, if you study their mode, or even during the bird photography also, if you study the birds properly, you will get very good images. Maybe they're fighting, or maybe they're fighting behaviors or flying behaviors, all those things. So for another, if it is 80% of behavior, 10% is knowing about your technical aspects of cameras, lenses, or how to use your cameras and other things. Because many of the people have seen when I conduct workshops and all, though I tell them about trying their best at knowing the technical aspects of cameras, they still try to adjust exposures at the spot where something is happening in front of them. So that is not allowed, in the sense that if you keep spending more time in adjusting your aperture or shutter speed or things like that, you will miss so many things in the wild. So other 10% is luck. So unless and until if you don't have luck, even if you know the behavior of animals, or even if you have the best of the camera gadgets, if you don't have luck, you don't get anything. So all these factors makes you to get the best of the images in the wild. So now I'll be sharing my pictures and taking you across the jungles. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So, welcome to the journey on wildlife photography. Usually, all my webinars, I name it as the art of, because the photography is art. So I have given, as Sri B.K. Agarwal said, this is my 48th webinar, and I have given webinars on various subjects like the art of pictorial photography, art of black and white photography, the art of landscape photography, so many things like that. So the art is more important for my presentation, because not only presentation, even in my photography, the art is the most relevant object or this thing in photography. Because unless and until you put your heart and soul into it, you cannot create the art. So anything you shoot, it should be artistic enough. And for wildlife photography, or for any kind of photography that you are doing, what are the important things that we have to give importance is the lighting, because photography depends on the light. So until and unless there is a good lighting, we cannot shoot pictures. And nowadays, because of the very good gadgets that we are getting, the cameras and lenses and very fast lenses, and very good camera with high sensors and all, which has got the capability of using 25 to 65,000 ISOs, and still you can get very good images. So lighting may not be important in very few conditions, not always. So majority of the time, particularly in wildlife, lighting is very important. Of course, the composition is very much important for any art of photography. And subject matter, it all depends on what kind of subjects that you are shooting. In wildlife, it is mainly the animals, birds, and insects, whatever you are photographing. And just by using lighting or composition, or putting your subject in the center or in the side or anything, it may not be wow picture, or it may not create any sense of creativity, because unless and until you put your brain behind the picture, unless you visualize your image before clicking, you cannot do creative images. So creative is very, very important in any genre of photography. And storytelling, until and unless you have a picture which conveys the mood, conveys the feeling, or tell a story about the picture, it is not going to be complete. And you have got all this now. The lighting is good, the composition is good, there is a subject, and it is very creative, and there is a storytelling point in your picture. But unless you present it well, your picture will not be good. So presentation is also important in wildlife photography particularly, and presentation comes in a way that the processing, until and unless you process your images and present it in a proper way, your picture will not be complete. So for wildlife photography, what are the very important ingredients to get the best of the images that you can make is the patience, perseverance, and punctuality. Being a wildlife photographer, the main ingredient is the patience. Until and unless you don't have patience, don't get into wildlife photography, because waiting is the game. Unless and until you wait and wait for the particular shot that you are looking for, or particular action, or for that particular light to create an image, then if you don't have patience, you are not going to get the picture. You should have a goal in your wildlife photography, whatever you want to achieve or whatever you want to get the final image, and that urge to make a good image gives you the final best image. So punctuality is another thing where until and unless you don't maintain your timing, you're going to miss so many very good you not only miss the action, but you're going to miss the lighting, you're going to miss the subject, because in wildlife, all the animals or the birds, they are not static, unlike portraits, or unlike landscape photography, or unlike still life, where it is totally still and it can wait for you. But in wildlife, nothing will wait for you. So punctuality is very important. You have to be at the right time, at the right place to get the right picture. And good equipments also matters a lot. For some time, all these years, many people, they were telling that equipment doesn't matter. It's the man behind the camera which matters. Of course it is. But nowadays, because of the very good equipments that you are getting, the excellent cameras, digital cameras, or the mirrorless cameras, and the very powerful lenses that you are getting, even the good equipments makes very good images. And utilizing all these functions of a camera is also important. So not only that you have to check your exposure just ISO setting or shutter speed setting or aperture setting itself is not enough. You should also know all the functions that camera has got, and when to use and what to use is the main factor. Good knowledge of the subject. As I told you, knowing about the behavior of animals and birds is important. So the knowledge of these subjects is also important, because if you go and search for elephants in Rajasthan, in Ranthambore, you don't get it. And if you go and search for tigers in Kaziranga, you don't get it. It's a very rare, very, very rare chance to see a tiger. But to photograph a tiger, if you go to well-known places like Ranthambore or Karna or Bandhagar or Tadoba, Corbett and all, you are 100% you are going to get. So you should know the subject, where to find, and what is the best season to go there and photograph, is also knowing about the good, having the good knowledge about subjects. Dedication is, which is very, very important. See, the photography, particularly wildlife photography, is like tapasya. Unless and until you have this tapasya, you are not going to achieve anything. And ultimately, of course, you have got fantastic picture opportunity, you have got fantastic lighting, you have got excellent action shots, or so many tigers or elephants in your camera. But unless and until you process your images, to the level of what you have seen while shooting. If you don't process well, then all your attempts at making good images is going, it's a waste actually. And always aim for the high. So now let us get into the jungles. And as I said, the lighting is the most important for our photography. And where to look for animals and birds, it's of course, we have to go into their world. It's a dense jungle. And earlier, when I started photography, almost about 42 years back, we were allowed to go trekking in the jungles, even when there are a lot of tigers and elephants. And also we could able to take our own vehicle then. But of course, now the Project Tiger has come into existence all over the country in all the wildlife sanctuaries and national parks, and nobody is allowed to get down from the vehicle. So it is inevitable to go in gypsies or hired vehicles in the sanctuary. So now we are in the jungle, but how to find a subject? There are so many hows that we get when we are in the jungle, like how to use my camera and how to find my style. These are very, very important, though it is very primary, but very important facts about wildlife photography. So how to find a subject? When you are in the jungle, you have to go inside the jungle in search of animals, or supposing if you get a bird, what type of bird and how to take a picture of that particular bird is also important. How to use my camera? This you have to know much before getting into the sanctuary. Or during evenings when you are not photographing, you have to check your cameras and lenses for the perfect exposures. Check your lenses or cameras or anything, and try to see your pictures. If there are mistakes, why the mistakes happen. Keep everything ready for the next trip. How to find my style? I'll tell you in the last session of this program. So here you can see when you get a subject like an elephant, where to place the elephant, and whether do you want to get this picture in the color or in the black and white is the first thought that you get while shooting. So some of the pictures, when you are experienced when you are experienced as a photographer, you will, as soon as you see, you will get a thought in your mind whether this picture will be suitable for color or black and white. Then your decision makes that picture going to get an award or going to get printed on the exhibition walls, because this particular decision of converting from black and white to color or whether to retain color depends on you and your subject. So now you have got the subject, you have made very good composition, and this is a storytelling point, a storytelling image. And when you are looking at the image, storytelling means you don't have to tell the story that how you took and where you went, how difficult your time you had, and how the driver was behaving. All those things is not storytelling. Storytelling is when you are looking at a subject, the picture should tell a story. It should convey a message. It should convey a feeling. And as soon as you look at this picture, you know that the tusker is in must, looking for a mate. And when you look at the environment, you should not, when you are photographing a bird or an animal, you should not compose the animal in tight frame, like 90% of the frame filling. No. For a very artistic image, you have to compose in 30% to 40% in the frame. Remaining should have the vegetation where it lives. It will convey the message where it lives. And how approachable is the animal? This is very individual experience, because nobody can go immediately in front of the elephant without knowing and photographing. You should slow and steady. You should go very near. And by knowing about the behavior, the mode, how it is, you can approach the animal close. Or if it is not in a bad mode, you cannot go near at all. So you have to shoot from very far. So this is very important aspects. Once the elephants or tigers or any animals, it allows you at a very close distance, you can spend a lot of time in front of it. And getting an image at a eye level is also important. One of the questions for me was is it possible to get eye level photography always, eye level subjects always, or can we take from the low angle or the high angle? See, this main important aspect is when you are talking to anybody, a friend or a father or mother or brother or anything, you talk to them with eye to eye. So eye speaks actually. So if you are at an eye level, the subject is conveying something to you. It's conveying the message that you get. If the angle changes, the message changes. So here you can see in my presentation, you please keep observing the composition, the lighting, the placement of subjects, and the emotions that creates. So this happens because of the angles that we select. So here it is one of the very early mornings in Corbett National Park when the elephants are crossing Ramganga River. This is just before the dawn. And this picture I named not as elephants crossing, but I named it as kingfisher, pied kingfisher. So here you can see at the top, the pied kingfisher is in flight. So when you look at an image, you always have to watch the subject in full frame. The way the river takes set on, or what is it related to, or the placement of subjects, the movement the subjects are making, the silhouette that it is creating, all this is very important. But of course, I love to take elephants from the back because I'm sure that none of the wildlife photographers, they don't shoot animals from the back. But it's very beautiful. It is part of the wildlife. And this picture has won many honorable mention and certificates in international exhibitions. See, this is what I am telling you about my style. So my style is entirely different from others. You're going to watch it in the later part of the presentation, how I create my own style, because you have to be somebody. Your photography should not be very common. If you compare to your friends or anything, everybody takes the picture same. If this tiger is standing like this with a kill, it is 100% that everybody shoots like this. But only you can be different in lighting or something like that. So how do we find the subject was one of the important aspects of wildlife photography. Particularly tigers, we find it with the pug marks. So here you can see how the foot of a tigress is there. And by looking at the size of the footprint or the pug mark and the shape of the pug mark, we find whether it is a male or a female, whether it is a cub, or if it is a cub, how old it is. If it is a male, how old it is, and which direction it has gone, and how much time back it has just crossed or it has just passed in this route. All this information you get in one pug mark. So this is how we track the tigers in the jungles. How close we get? We get very close, provided if you don't disturb the animals. This was taken with 80 to 400 mm at 100 mm focal length. And this was one of the very young male at a Tadoba, which was just about 12 feet or maximum 13 feet away from me. So many of the times, the tigers have just passed about 1 or 2 feet just beside us. and they don't care for you, because nowadays the gypsies and the people, they are too many in the sense that we could never imagine there will be so many tourists and photographers in the jungles. When we started, we were hardly 8 to 10 people, and for the whole jungle, there were only one vehicle or two vehicle that time. Now you can see if there is one tiger, there will be 100 jeeps blocking the path of the tigers. So here you can see the cubs, tiger cubs, and beautiful white marks on the ears. This gives the direction for the tigers on the cubs. It's a signaling. And here you can see the cubs playing, and the mother is just not waiting for the cubs. It keeps moving. Where the cubs, which is nearly about just about 1.5 year old, they are playing. It's not 1.5 year old, it's 8 to 10 months old. This was photographed in this February in Tadoba, and this was the last litter of Maya in Tadoba. Maya was one of the most successful mother, which had littered lot many times, and this was the last litter. After this, it died. And I had a great opportunity of photographing this particular group, which had killed a huge sambar male. You can see the sambar male at the bottom, and it's feasting on the sambar kill. This was taken with 600 mm lens, a prime lens. So you should expect the unexpected in the jungle. So most of the time, nothing will happen according to your ideas and your thoughtfulness. Something happens for which you have to be ready. Anticipation is the final word here. So you have to anticipate something may happen or something may come across. Here you can see one of the tigress Bijli in Tadoba. It had a cub, and fortunately the cub, when it was crossing, it looked at us. And this is the only frame out of 10-15 frames, it is looking at the camera. Other frames, it is just looking down and going across. So this happens by chance, for which you have to be very ready. And again, I'm stressing on the fact that when to select black and white or color, it all depends on you. Don't ask me when to select. It is all individualistic. And here there's in Tadoba, you can see how even the mother with the cubs, they have to cross across the vehicles and they have to move on. Now the tigers, they think that there's gypsies and vehicles are part of the environment. They don't think it as a threat, because if it is a prey, it will run away. So this is not a prey, because it will stay forever there only without moving or without disturbing. So they think it is part of the environment. They don't react to these vehicles. They will be on their own. So our photography becomes easier. So that is how our photography goes on. And here you can see the Kaziranga National Park, a beautiful silk cotton tree with a whole herd of rhinoceros. This is a one-horned rhinoceros. This is the only species that is found in Asia. So there is a two-horned rhinoceros which is found in Africa. And here you can see mother with calf at the background. There is another mother, and the horn, which is at the front, it is being chopped off a little bit. It is just growing now, because they want to save these animals from the poachers. So some of the animals which has got long horns, the forest department people, they chop off that so that they can save the animal. Here the mother with calf, and this calf is very, very young, and it is a very rare chance that mother, it brings the calf outside the vegetation. So why I said expect the unexpected earlier was this picture, I took it from the back. That means I'm looking at the back and I shot this. So when I was going ahead, I was watching great hornbills. I was shooting that. And when the bird was very stagnant and nothing was happening, I was just looking at the back. This mother, it was waiting for our vehicle to cross a little bit so that it can cross the road. So it just crossed and came here. So when I looked at the back, I got this image. So you have to be very quick enough to take a shot. This leopard is at Tadoba. It came very close and it was daredevil actually, and it was just about 10 feet from my gypsy. And you can see the teak leaves, dried teak leaves, making the whole vegetation beautiful. These are all teak trees in the picture that you are seeing. This was early morning, maybe at around 7:30 lighting. This is the same leopardess in the same lighting, just coming into the road. This is a black buck female with a cough. Taking backlighting in wildlife is quite interesting, and you have to be very precise in giving exposures. If you don't give any proper exposures, the background will not look nice. In fact, the background will become very bright because the camera will take the exposure for the background. Supposing if you are keeping aperture priority or shutter priority or anything, the camera will take the exposure for the background and it will give one stop more exposure. So you have to underexposure it by one stop or 1.5 stop. Sometimes I go, if the background is too dark, I keep 2 stops under exposure. That is by evaluative metering. You just have to press evaluative metering and keep -1 or -2 or -1.7. So immediately the camera will reduce 1.5 to 2 stops and your exposure becomes perfect. So this, I mean to say that knowing about your cameras and lenses is very important. You have to decide then and there. And that decision for me, it takes 2 seconds. But for others, they have to, if they are experienced, they'll get. Otherwise, they'll be playing on various factors to get the best exposures. And when it is a mist and when it is very bright, you have to show the mist exactly how it was. And by giving contrast or by giving overexposure or anything, it will mar the picture. So maintaining exposure at every stage is very important. And when it comes to backlighting and background is dark, you have to be perfect on your exposure and on your processing also. And this is a dhole, a wild dog, and very rare to find them near the water source. This is a yellow martin on rhododendron flowers in the upper Himalayas. One of the very rare moment for a wildlife photographer, because most of the martins, they will be hiding inside the bushes or running across the road. So getting them like this is quite a once in a lifetime chance. So now I come to bird photography. So for bird photography, I use Nikon D850 and Z8 lenses, 80 to 400 mm, and also 600 mm I use. So for bird photography, what is important is the background. If the background is clear and the bouquet is good, then your picture stands out. Sharpness is very, very important. Of course, sharpness is important for all photography in wildlife, particularly animals, birds, insects, everything. Composition is same. Everything is composition. You keep it in 1/3 composition or lower 1/3 or upper 1/3 or center. It depends on individual this thing. Again, even in this, anticipation is important. Wait for the action and ultimately processing. So what is composition? Usually we generally, whenever we see the bird, we photograph like this and keeping most of the time keeping the bird in the center because our focusing point is in the center. So usually photographer tends to keep the subject in the center. If you shift the focusing point to right or left, you can compose perfectly well in the camera itself. Supposing if you had taken already like this, keeping the subject in the center, later you can compose it perfectly while doing the processing. So thereby you are avoiding unnecessary spaces. How much space you have to require is, I already told, 30 to 40% of the subject should fill the frame. Remaining, it should show the environment or the vegetation so that it beautifies the image. So it is not always that you have to take full frame of the birds. And supposing if this particular bird, if you blow it up and make it very big, it will not convey the size of the bird to the onlooker. Supposing if this is a oriental white eye, which is very small, slightly smaller than say our house sparrow, it should look of the same size. You should not blow it up and make it to the size of a myna. So it gives a wrong impression. And birds, when it is sitting on boards or on artificial things, or maybe compounds or things, it is not allowed in salons. But for your slideshows or your personal photographic sessions, it is okay, but not for competitions or salons. So always better take your wildlife in the natural environment. And here you can see the seagulls at a very high altitude in Ladakh, in upper Himalayas. And here, though I had 600 mm with me, but I shot with 80 to 400 mm to show the environment where it lives. And here you can see bar-headed geese, which is a migratory bird which comes from Siberia, Mongolia, all those places to Somoriri in Ladakh to breed. And I have got these birds with the chicks also. So they come here to breed, particularly in winter season, May and June. This is a Himalayan griffon vulture. So when the name suggests Himalayan, you should show Himalaya. So that means when a judge or a onlooker or a very naturalist, when they look at this picture, they know it is a Himalayan griffon vulture, which is related to the picture. It relates to Himalayas. So it gives more storytelling image and it gives more meaning to the picture. And this is a grey heron pair, which is building the nest. Here, the sitting at the bottom is a female, and the bird with a stick is a male. It is just started building the nest. And here you can see one of the persons who asked if we can we always, is it possible to take eye to eye level, or can we take however we want? This was building the nest at around about 40 to 50 feet high tree. So the perspective changes when you use longer telelenses. So when I shot with 600 mm at a far distance, the perspective changed and it brought very close to eye level. So it depends on the focal length of the lens and the distance from the bird to camera, and also the angle from the camera to the bird. So this triangular thing, which is angle and the height and the focal length, it makes the perspective and shows that it's been taken at a lower angle. This is the gray-headed fishing eagle in Kaziranga. And again, one of the question was how the background should be. The blur, is it allowed, or the blur which we do it in Photoshop, is it allowed in nature salons? You can see this blur, which is natural with the 600 mm. Particularly, I shot with f4, so the background goes totally out of focus and blur. This much of detail is very much required in wildlife photography. And nowadays, I am seeing in most of the social medias as well as in salons, because of the AI that they use in Photoshop, they blur the background too much. It looks like a blank screen. It should not be. Never in the wild you see the totally plain screen. It will have a real little bit details in the background. You can see here, though the distance from the subject to the river and the grassland is about 100 feet or 120 feet, still the detail is retaining, even though it was shot at f4. So here you can see 600 mm at a closer distance, the background is totally out of focus. So this natural backgrounds is very, very much needed. Don't try to blur the background too much. In wildlife photography, everything is limited. If we keep everything natural, it looks fantastic. Don't do it, overdo anything. Even the sharpness or the background blur or anything. You don't overdo anything. And if you do naturally, everything looks fantastic. Here you can see this was shot at f8 or so in 600 mm at a close distance. And I have never given sharpness in the Photoshop. Naturally, it is very sharp. These jungle jungly jungly murga. So you can see how beautiful the colors. This was taken at Sattal, and always the males have got beautiful colors. They are well built than the females, and you can see the various colors that it has got. And these colors, you should bring it in processing exactly like this. Then only your picture becomes perfect. Otherwise, your picture will lose the quality. And these are the pheasants, the Kalish pheasant. The left is the male, right is the female. As I said, the males are always bright in colors and have big build and more beautiful to look at. The size matters a lot in wildlife. So the coil male on the left is much about more than 20 times larger than the small green barbet on the right hand side. So both have just sitting on the stick. And this is a pied hornbill, and you can see the fruits. So when to find the subject and where to find the subject is important. So these particular birds, they are jungle dwell birds. They are always found in the thick jungles where there are a lot of fruits. They come to the fruit bearing tree always. So when it is fruiting, particularly in the month of November or October end or November, if you just spend little time with patience in front of this tree, you will get magnificent pictures, and you can take close-ups also. This was taken with 600 mm. This is nearly about 20 or 25 feet above myself. So At an angle, I have shot this picture. This is a pin-tailed duck at Gajoldoba. There is a spot-billed duck with a duckling at Bharatpur, and you had to wait for the particular position where you get good reflection. Pin-tailed ducks in the evening time. This is a cattle egret. The cattle, what you see at the bottom, is not actually the this thing. It is the biggest wild cattle in India. It is the Indian gaur. So the egret is sitting on the back of Indian gaur. And on the right, what you are seeing, the spots is not spots created by in the camera or sensor or anything. They are the mosquitoes flying around the cattle or the gaur. This is a black cap kingfisher taken in Bitterkanika. One of the person who asked the question, how to get a cache light or cache light is important. You can see the beautiful cache light on birds. Why the cache light is important is the most of the birds, nearly 80% of them, they have black eyes and head also black. So when the head and the black eyes are there, they merge together. So to separate them, we need a cache light, which gives more life into the picture, life into the bird. So that is where the cache light is most important. Supposing for example, here it is a cattle egret. It has got a yellow eye against white. We don't need a cache light here. If it comes, it's good. If it is not there, still you can differentiate the head and the eye. Where you cannot differentiate the head and the eye like this, when it is both are dark, you need a cache light. And cache light makes the picture because it gives a punch in the picture. This is a pied kingfisher hovering, looking for the fish at the bottom. And these are the egrets near seashore. So they are waiting for the small dead fishes or small crabs to grab. This was taken at around 7 or 7:30 in the morning, and with 24 to 120 mm. Don't think that always you have to carry 600 mm, 500 mm, things like that. In whatever the lens, whatever you get, you take pictures. I make landscapes in 400 mm and 500 mm. And I make wildlife in 24 mm or 100 mm like that. So you have to utilize whatever the equipment you have and make best use of it. And here you can see the pond heron fishing just under the legs of rhinoceros. And this is the texture at the back of the rhinoceros you can see, and at the bottom pond heron. See, the composition is entirely different. You have to think what to get and how your picture should be different from others. These in full moon day in Bharatpur, these are the cormorants. This is an emerald dove in Western Ghats. This was taken in Dandeli, Dandeli Wildlife Sanctuary in Karnataka. This emerald dove has got very beautiful colors, and these colors you should get exactly like this after processing. And here the river terns are basking in the sun, as well as there is a Ganges gharial basking, and they all live together. This picture of a dove, you can see the male, how when it is approaching the group, it shows off itself by raising its neck and puffing its neck like that. So this is a storytelling point in birds. And this is at a lower level. This is not eye level, still lower level than the bird. This is a European roller, early morning. And here also you can see the cache light in the eye. and the background is thrown out of focus with f4 600 mm. And this is a migratory bird which comes from Europe, and this comes to from Rajasthan. It migrates till Bangalore. Even in Bangalore, Hesarghatta and all, we used to find this bird. These munias, spotted munias, and the center bird is the mother. On the right and left are the chicks of it. It's a storytelling time. This is by chance I got this bird. I was photographing the other bird, and when these birds they were making noise, I just looked to the side, and they were all sitting. And we were about 4 or 5 people together. We were shooting birds, and nobody has shot this picture. And I got nearly about 8 to 10 pictures of this particular this thing. So don't think that there are some 10 people going together or 5 people going together. All our pictures will be the same. Nothing. You have to look for something else what others are not doing. So that is where your talent arises. So you have to be very inquisitive, very attentive, and anticipate more. This is the Himalayan sepia on a beautiful flower sitting in early morning. And there is a paradise flycatcher male. There is a sunbird, purple rumped sunbird. There is a female. And in most of the gardens, they come and visit and they take the nectar out of the flower. And there is a skylark with the beautiful seasonal flowers that they grow on the ground. So this particular mound was little higher than my eye level. So I got almost eye to eye level from this was taken from the car. So now I come to the insects world. So in macro subjects, what are the things that you can take? Most of the people, they think macro means insects, butterflies, or some spiders or things like that. But there are so many things that you can shoot, like flowers, leaves, fruits, any objects that you find in your home or anywhere, butterflies, and so many. There are thousands and thousands of insects, and still there are many more things which you can shoot as a macro picture. And my equipments that I use for macro is my D850. I also use Z8, and I have Nikon 105mm macro, meant only for macro photography. And I use 3 tripods. 3 tripods I carry because I use them for keeping different flashes from different angles. And most of the times nowadays I'm using 3 flashes. And also I carry small handy reflectors to give shadow detail for the backlighting images. So in macro photography, you have to be more careful and more disciplined than you take in animals and birds. Because here in insects world, even a small movement that you make, it makes them to fly away, or it makes them to hide themselves under the leaves or the bushes. So approaching the subjects is very, very important in macro photography. And you should not disturb the subject with your spreading the legs of the tripod, or using the flash at a very close distance, or making a lot of movements in front of the subject. If you don't do this, and if you follow discipline, and if you practice yourself, when there is no subject, you practice yourself. You just spread the legs of the tripod, go very slowly with your camera, put your flash with the diffuser. Don't use the flash directly. You can use the flash directly only for the backlighting, but for the front lighting with the diffuser, it will be good. Here you can see I have used 3 flashes, one from the front to fill in the shadows, one from the right and one from the left. This is a common silver line, and this is just about 2 centimeter, 1.5 to 2 centimeter butterfly, which literally has got silver lines on the wings. And you can feel when the butterfly is sitting, you can feel the silver on its body. These are tonic cluster in the early morning, taken on small plant. And when the butterflies, they take the energy out of flowers, the nectars, they suck the nectars and take the energy. They also ooze out some kind of droppings they do. And that happens for a very fraction of a moment, but if you get, it is very good. So here also I have used 2 flashes. You can see the side leaf, the plant and the flower. If you use, for example, this is a picture of a butterfly, which I have not used any other light other than natural diffused light. It was a cloudy morning. And I shot this with some 300 mm or something like that. So here I used flashes. This also flash. Why flash? It gives dynamism to the picture. It gives beautiful separation to the background and gives more depth between the plants or the flowers or the subject that you are shooting. Here you can see the natural sunlight coming from the back. From the front, I have given fill-in flash. There is a black devil cicada, we call it. Black and white cicada also we call it. Also, it is called as Bangalore cicada because it is mostly found only in Bangalore, in and around Bangalore. This is a cicada. And when it emerges, this just emerged and clinging onto the small twig. When it is emerged, the wings will be white. When the wings get exposure to the sunlight, it oxidizes and it becomes totally black. That's why it is called as black and white cicada. Here you can see a snake and the mushrooms. Mushrooms are less than 1 centimeter. Less than 1 centimeter, and it has got beautiful pores and details. And to get that, I have to use 2 different flashes. So that is how you have to use flashes, but the flashlight also, it should be very artistically given, and it should create artistic image with the flash. It should not look like a flash picture. So that is how the technique of using flash is entirely a different experience than using just one single flash to give fill in. That is a common that everybody does. But if you do multiple flash photography, your level of photography increases to a higher level. This is a common leopard's mating. This is the Atlas moth, the biggest in India, and it is almost about 10 inches to 12 inches big you get, and it has got beautiful markings on its body. It's a very lovely moth. This is Atlas moth. And here you can see the bees in the beehive. And most of the people, they think if you give flash, they will come and attack. To prove it is wrong, I have used the flash and taken more than 20-25 images of this bee, and it will never care for your flash. So that is many of the things people spread rumors that you should not do like this, should not do like that, until and unless you experiment and do, you should prove yourself. This is a robber fly with a kill. This is a robber fly mating. Robber fly mating, and this particular thing, it happened. Fortunately for me, it was just lying on the plant just below me, so that I could able to take it from the top angle. And actually, it was raining during this time, and I have not used any flash here because when I used flash, the wings gave me a lot of reflection. So I shot with natural light. So what was very interesting was in natural light, I could able to get beautiful coloration on the wings. You can see different subdued colors. So this I got it in natural lighting. Here you can see the ants carrying a dead, this is dragonflies, see. So it's carrying a dead body. I have used about 3 flashes here. And this is frog. There is a blue-eyed bush frog which has been caught in the web, and the spider is holding it at the top. The top one is the spider, and the bottom is the bush frog. This was taken during rainy season, and these frogs, they are active only during the rainy season when there is a heavy rain happening. And again, here I use 2 flashes, one from the back, one from the front. And the caterpillar sitting on a perch which has got same hairy thing on the branch. This is a katydid molting. So usually most of the molting, it happens in most of the species like these grasshoppers or spiders or cicadas or so many things. This is an ant fly, and this lives only for 24 hours and very colorful wings. And here you can see mantis just emerged from the utica. The nest, what you see on the left hand side top, is the nest. Is the nest on the top, and the mantis nymphs, what we call the young ones, is the nymphs. They just emerged out of it. So what happens here is when they emerge, it will have a glue kind of a thing on its body. It will be hanging down, and it will hang till the till it can touch any ground or a branch or anything. But unfortunately, what happened when I was shooting, there was a wind which blew away all these nymphs, and they went and got stuck onto the twig. So this was taken in Lalbagh. So I used the natural sunlight at the back, which was coming from the back, and the front, I have not used the flash, but I have given the white reflector. So you can see the nymphs with the transparent body. This was taken at around 7 o'clock in the morning. There is a tree frog in the rain. Here you can see a beautiful blue-eyed bush frog egg. So you can see the baby inside with the beautiful eyes also. It is looking at me. And believe me, this is just a peanut size. So the egg size is just of the size of the peanut. And I have used a macro, and I used 2 flashes. And when I am shooting this picture, these I have shot about 20-30 pictures. They always actually cling together. All the eggs will be together as a clutch. So during the rain, one of the egg, it will fall down, 1 or 2 like that. It keeps falling because of the heavy rains and the wind. This, fortunately, it got caught between 2 branches and it is holding there. So fortunately, it is saved. So I am shooting. So when I shot 1 or 2 pictures, this was the position. Afterwards, it changed inside, like a baby keeps changing in the womb of a mother. It keeps rotating inside the egg, and you can see the tail, sometimes the head, like that. So that's a beautiful occasion to watch it. And here you can see again the spider molting. This was taken in a natural sunlight backlighting. And this is a death's head hawk moth caterpillar, and it has got a beautiful red tail. What is more interesting is that when you shoot images, your picture should be very artistic. Otherwise, it becomes a record picture. I have recorded many pictures. I don't want to record anymore. But even now, when I'm recording, it should be artistic. Otherwise, if it is not interesting, I'm not going to shoot anything. So if it is, the composition should be good, the lighting should be good, the subject should be good. Now the standards that um, I have made myself, I have set an this thing standard that I have to reach that standard. Otherwise, I don't shoot now. Here you can see the green link spider. It's feeding on termite. The termite has just caught there and it is just lifting its wing. So this storytelling point, in macro, it is very, very important. And when you use a flash, that flash should not uh, shine the wings of the subjects. So you have to keep it at an angle. So that you should keep looking at your image and change the angle of the flash also. This is one of the biggest antlion that I have seen. And I have no idea that why that extension of its this thing is lifting like that. And this was almost about 3 inches. Usually these antlions, it will be of just about 2 inches or so. This was very large one. Here you can see the owl fly. I kept the flash at an angle of 45 degrees, holding it on the left hand. My another flash, I attached it to the stand and I kept it on the right hand side. So when I changed my flash in the hand, the colors on the wings kept on changing. So the angle of flash is very important because the wings of every insect has got different colors. You will be amazed to see so much of spectrum of colors that is appearing on the body of the insects. Particularly when you are using flash, you will get. Or else, if you want to see this without using flash, you have to be at such an angle. I'm going to show in the future slide. You should be at an angle with the sunlight so that you can see the natural different colors. It is out of the world. If I explain, you may not understand, but you have to see it to believe it. You see the composition number 9. So this happens when it is happening, you have to take picture. This is a green link spider. It is catching hold of the fly. This fly is a fruit fly, usually found in forests. And here, as soon as the rain is stopped, you can see water droplings. Water drops, and soon the spiders and other things, they come there. They may not drink the water, but they are found there because they are waiting for the prey to come to drink the water so that they can catch hold of it. Here you can see the jumping spider. This jumping spider is about 1 centimeter or less than that. Usually all jumping spiders will be less than 1 centimeter, maybe half or so, half centimeter or so. But it is catching 100 times bigger of its size. It's a catidid it has caught. So to show the transparency of that catidid legs and other things, and the hairs that is present on the twig, I have to use flash. So here I use 3 flashes. And you can see the coloration of the catidid as well as the spider. It's entirely different. You should get all these colors, what you have seen when photographing. This is another antlion. You can see the size, it is smaller and different color. This is a praying mantis sitting on a beautiful perch. So here I use 2 flashes. Here again, two flashes. These are the snails in love making. And the beautiful diagonal perch is what is making interesting. And I usually put this this border just to show you the frame. Otherwise, here you cannot see the frame, how big it is or how small it is, what is my frame. So usually for presentations, you have to put a border, a very small, maybe about 4 or 5 pixel border to show your frame. But it is not allowed in salons. I cannot help it. And macro, as I said, it is not only of birds or the butterflies or insects, but it is also of tiny flowers, which are very minuscule. Most of the people, they just don't observe, but they are more beautiful. And the mushrooms, they are lovely. They come in various sizes, various designs, various colors, and they are actually part of the environment, which is very, very important function they have got in environment. And this I was demonstrating to my fellow friends in my workshop how to light up mushrooms and other things. This I am lying down on the ground and shot this picture. And that place where it was raining and the season, these mushrooms, they grow is in heavy rains. And in heavy rains, you will get thousands of leeches clinging together, and they come onto your shoes or your hands or your heads from everywhere within no minute. There I was lying on the ground and shooting this picture to show my friends how to light up mushrooms and other things. This is where the dedication is important. So until and unless you have dedication, you cannot achieve anything in photography. So here you can see a wine snake eating the Malabar frog, Malabar flying frog. This is another pit viper, which comes only during the rainy season. Otherwise, they stay in the canopy of the trees most of the times, and only during the rainy days it comes down to catch hold of the frogs. And by looking at the foliage and other things, you can know that it is taken in a rainy forest. And when it is raining heavily and the wind is there, if you use the slow shutter speed, you will get a picture like this. Here I have not used any flash. It's just daylight picture with my 100 mm macro. And this is the close-up of a wine snake, only the head. And if you use 2.8 or 3.5 aperture in your 105 macro, you will get a bouquet like this. And being a wildlife photographer, most of the people, they keep away from the snakes. They don't venture. Even if somebody says there is a snake 100 feet away and I just saw them, they will just change the direction and go away from that. But being a wildlife photographer, I am more interested to play with them at my own risk, and I know my limits because I know the behavior of most of the animals and birds and other subjects. So here you can see in one of the wild, when I was shooting a macro in a forest, we came across this common cobra. This is marking at the back of the hood. And here I am shooting them with my macro lens at a close distance. How I can do this is because you should not move very frequently or very fast in front of them. If you move very slow or anything, you can take pictures. And you should be quite a distance where they hit. What is the distance you should gauge? Whether it is 2 feet or 3 feet. You should be away from maybe 3 feet away from the snake. Even if they hit also, they cannot touch you like that. But there are mock charges and mock hits or this thing, you should be careful enough. But nobody can venture straight away like that, but carefully we have to do it. So after taking this picture, I was very interested to see the patterns and the abstract on the body of this. But this is what not I wanted. So after shooting this is what I wanted. I went next close to the snake. Between my legs, the snake was there, and from the top I shot this picture with 105 micro. So if you are careful and if you take calculated risk, then you can shoot. But there is a very thin line from between adventure and misadventure that we should keep it in mind. Now I'll show you few images which is of storytelling images. This birth of a cicada, or you can call it as a molting, a cicada molting. And this metamorphosis of a cicada is entirely a different experience to be felt in the rainforest. Okay, during rainy season, in the night between 10 o'clock to midnight, 2 o'clock. Anytime it may happen, even at 8 o'clock also it may happen, but only in the night it happens. The metamorphosis of a cicada emerging is a wonderful experience to be felt in person. They emerge during the rainy season and in dark of the night. The cicada nymphs emergence from their underground home is tied primarily to temperature. Some emerge every 17 years, while others come out 13 years. So 13 in India it is 13 years. In America and other countries it is about 17 years. They hibernate under the ground. They eat only, they feed on the roots and other things of the trees, and only once they emerge out of the ground. This is the cicada. It has just come out of the ground and it is clinging onto a perch. So you can see the virginal cicada will come out like this. You can see already the wings are formed, and this happens from this stage to the adult stage. It happens about, it takes about 30 minutes maybe, or 20 minutes sometimes. So now it has started molting. It has started emerging from the shell. This bottom portion, now we call it as a shell because it becomes a dead body. It's a shell. So the virginal cicada, it is just emerging now. So these are the different postures when they are emerging. See, now the shell is broken. Now they are breaking it. They comes out, and like humans, like we have umbilical cord attached to mother's womb, you can see it is attached to the shell. But no matter, it goes down and cuts itself. So once if they reach this angle, when they go down, they have to come back to hold on to the perch. Now they hold on to the dead shell now. Now the wings are opening. So these wings, now the cicada has become adult. So it has to, the wings have to dry. So how the drying happens, they have to wait in the same position until the sun comes. So till then, they move from the dead cicada to the nearest perch where they can cling on to, say about 10 hours or 15 hours like that, until the sun comes out. When the sun comes out, they get its wing dried and then they fly, and they live only for 3 days until they mate. Till then, they will not eat anything. Once they mate, then they will die. That is the life of this cicada. And here you can see the blue blood inside the wings. It will be blue until they are dried. Once they are dried, this blueness will go off. this coloration of blue you will get only in particular angle of light, not always. Otherwise, it looks very transparent and no colors. If the color of the, if the angle of the flash or the light changes, you can see the blue like this. Otherwise, you cannot. You can see the raindrops at the back, the rainfall. It happens only during the rainy season when it is raining. And how to cover? We cover ourselves with raincoats, and the camera is exposed to the right because we want the picture. And the lighting is also, I keep the lighting attached to the flash, and the flash is drenched in the light. And no matter, the picture is important. So now create your own style is the mantra. So once if you have achieved something in wildlife photography, you know the techniques, you know the composition, you know where to find. Now it is your way to have your own style of images, that is signature pictures. Once if they see this image, oh, this looks like Satish picture, they should say like that. So that is the kind of creativity that you have to develop and change your way of photographing from others. Or you may say from common photography compositions, you have to be more creative and more artistic. And this was taken in, now onwards, you can see my more creative images than what I showed you now. Till now, what you have seen is only just average picture. According to me, there are just average and good enough pictures for the presentation. So my taste of images, now I'm going to show only about 10-15 I will show you. Because of the time constraint, I cannot show all the images. And I go very early morning to a place where I already know, so that I can anticipate something I may find. Here you can see the fog is just coming out of the water. In the early morning, when the first light of the sun hits the water, the fog starts coming out and you can see the backline. And that time I find this family of the spotted deer and the birds flying. When the animals are in the backlighting, I love to go against the light and shoot them because it will be more artistic and more creative. Here, a mother is teaching its baby the nonsense of jungle. A purple heron drying its wings in Bharatpur National Park. And you can see the whole environment, you will get a feeling of Bharatpur. And here some ducks are crossing the lake in Bharatpur. And this is what I told you earlier. This is a spider web. So when the web is flat to your eyes, you think there is a spider web, okay, you will go off. But you lay it down on the ground and you look up when the sunlight is falling onto the web, you will get to see this design and these colors. Here I have not used any technique of lenses or any technique of flashes or anything. This is a natural sunlight and natural this thing taken with 105 mm at f8 with macro lens handled, and see the patterns that the light has created and see the colors that the web has got. We can never imagine when you look at a spider web, it has got so many colors. It's unimaginable until and unless you go bend down and look up at the web. The lighting is from the top, the sunlight. This was shot at around 8:15, 8:20 a.m. This is a close-up of the millipede. It has got so many tiny legs. This is the backlighting of taken at Bharatpur. This is a snake bird. These generally we get flamingos about to take off. You can see the colors, the beautiful leg position just before takeoff. They are just running on the water. But this is what I love to shoot. So that is the difference, from here, the common picture, from here, the artistic picture. Many of the judges, they don't like this. And I don't have any issues with them, because it all depends on the person who likes or not like it. If it is his liking, he will give marks, or otherwise. So I have stopped working towards the liking of the judges. I don't want to please anybody. I am making pictures to the satisfaction of myself, and I want to be more artistic in my compositions, in my lighting, and my subject treatment. I don't want to please anybody. If you want to please anybody like judges or the organizers, or to get distinctions or awards or anything, then you can do like this. No issues. This is the common picture of Saras cranes everybody shoots. But I love to shoot like this. Though it is a pair, it is a pair here, but I want to show them like this. This Saurus crane pair, they live for life together. If one of the pair dies, the other also die out of sorrow. They don't eat anything for a week and they die. And this is early morning shot of in Tippeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary. There's early morning sun shaft in the mist. And this is the low angle of a picture wing dragonfly. I just shot against the sun by lying down on the ground. And this is the dry sticks, and you can see the rhinoceros. And this is more storytelling, because most of the animals, they love to eat green grass, green vegetation, everything. When the forest fire happens, they don't have any vegetation to eat. So they have to travel a lot. So here you can see the graphic representation of wildlife. And this is what I love to shoot: the graphic representation, the textures, the designs of the animals, the texture of the skin. It gives a natural abstract. So that is what I mean to say. It should be something different, what others have not seen so far like that. They might have taken in a different way, but not in this way. After waiting for 2 hours at the same spot, they crossed each other like this. Still, I wanted a different position of the calf, but I should get satisfied to what I have already got. And there is another intricate abstract of a rhinoceros. There is the dusting of elephant. There is the close-up of elephant. There is a white-bellied sea eagle in the forest. There is a great pied hornbill flying. There is a silhouette of flamingos. There is a vast, beautiful landscape where the bird or the animal is at a very minuscule level. The nature is too big. You can see a mantis sitting on a palm leaf, a dragonfly, drongo, and a beautiful perch. There is a brown-winged kingfisher. What is very interesting is the coloration of the bird, yellow bird and the red beak, and exactly the same colors in the leaves, the red and the yellow. So it is by chance you get, and you should be very, you should be ready for that moment to click. It happens for a few seconds. This was taken with 600 mm lens in Kanika. And you can also see, by the time I just took a U-turn in the boat and came back to this position, there was a small drizzling. And as soon as I reached spot, maybe about 2 minutes or 3 minutes gap, the rain stopped. I could get able to get water droplets on the twigs also at the back, and the beautiful background made the picture. So right time at the right place to get the right picture is the mantra. So this is line butterfly. And in macro, generally, many people, they say you should take in F11, F16 to get better depth of field. I usually shoot at F4 or F2.8 to make my own artistic images. And this, I used a Helios lens, which gives a beautiful bokeh. Different Helios lenses, it gives different bokehs. So you can select which you want. Generally, it comes in 45 mm lens or 50 mm lens. And generally, these lenses are made by European countries. It gives beautiful bouquets for macros. And this is the shadow of the praying mantis. This is the close-up of a caterpillar, which looks like a snake. So this is the mimic, that is the natural tendency of most of the butterflies, caterpillars, and other things. They mimic others to scare away the predators. So ultimately what? Taking a picture is different from making an image. Generally, people, what they do is they take pictures. However, they want to record. Okay, I'm happy that I have got. I want to show it to my friends or show it to my family or participate in a salon and get an acceptance. Happy, but you have to make images. So there is a lot of difference from taking an picture from making an image. So what is a good image? See, now I am showing you some of the tutorial or a kind of images, about 10 or 15. I'm going to end now. So I'm going to show how you can improve the pictures, what you thought of your final as a final image. Usually all the generally photographers, they take picture and they are happy. Oh, I got this caterpillar. Excellent. But if you are an artist and if you have a visualization, when you are seeing this image, you should visualize what is important in this and what should be my final image. You work towards it, whether you are while shooting or while processing. I had a visualization of this particular caterpillar. It had a very bright red thorns like this thing on its body, which I wanted to highlight. So I used 2 flashes, but it was not sufficient. But I improved it in post-processing, and this was what I had in my mind. See, usually when people see this, they say that there is a caterpillar. But you give a chance for the onlooker to think what it is. That is your image making. So from taking an image to making an image transforms your artistic views of that particular subject. That should be the real matter of any wildlife photographer. You should work towards it. So this is snail and the mushroom. And supposing when you are taking a picture, if it goes bad, maybe you think that, oh, this is a flat picture, I don't have anything. But your intention, what you had visualized, that you can get it by making a good processing. So processing, that is what I said, after taking so much of uh, um, so much of energy and your talent and finding subject and using cameras, flashes, everything. If you cannot visualize your image, then your processing is dumb. If you know processing, you can make any bad image into good image. And also I will talk about how the picture should be. But this is what the processing how you have to improve it, provided if you have the final image in your mind. Now, this is generally when we go out, we shoot like this, we may get, this is a raw image, just whatever I got it. But same thing, if you process, you will get the colors what it was already there. Here I want to emphasize on two things. We human beings, how many eyes we have got? So most of you tell that we have got two eyes. That is 90% of you say. But I say that we have got three eyes. Two eyes, we see the subject, what it is there and all. But the third eye, we have to open it up to see what we want, what we visualize. So that visualization comes only when you open up the third eye. So that pre-visualization is utmost important for every artistic photographer. If you don't open the third eye, in two eyes only you will see and record images, and you do for the whole life. So you open up your third eye and see what is important. The second part is that the camera, what it sees is entirely different than what human beings see. So the camera can see so many things, but at that moment, because of human eye can see more than 8,000 colors and hues of colors, we cannot visualize suddenly what is lying there. So like here, the camera simply takes, but you know that it's already, there are so many colors in that I have to get in. There is a mist at the background. See, you are not seeing here. The greeneries of the tree, it's beautiful. You are not seeing there. There is a light falling on the side of the animal. You are not seeing there. But you now you can see everything. That is because of the processing. How much you have to do is all yours. How much where to stop is depends on you. Here you can see the red blood, that is the myna is drinking out of the wound of a rhinoceros. So this, when it is happening, many of my friends who are there, I took a group of 12 people. Nobody has shot this. I told them the bird is drinking blood, you can take. They took the whole rhinoceros. And after that, in the room, after we came back, they said, I did not like this. There is nothing, the bird is there. After processing, I showed this image. Nobody had this picture. So pre-visualization is also important, that how you can also improve upon this image, how to create a better image out of that. So here it is a partial processing, but of course, this is not allowed in salons, but you can send it in open section. But that is a different matter altogether. But for self-satisfaction, this gives a more impact for me than this. This I love it. This is another picture taken in the late afternoon, maybe around 4 o'clock in the Bharatpur. This is what the situation was, but this is what I wanted. This was taken in 600 mm, a beautiful male leopard walking across in Kabini. And there are a lot of trees with a lot of beautiful details and lighting falling on this thing, everything. This, I have to get it anyway. So you have to process it properly. And this, most of the time, many people, what they see is when they got a good image, they will over process it. Okay, over process it and over sharpen it. They want to show the bird in a very sharp. Over sharpening marks the picture. You see how much over sharpening. You can see the over sharpening, the edges have formed. So these edges are bad. So you should not get these edges. So you see, this is how you must get it. And that much of sharpness is enough to see, because the sharpness, how much to give, depends on the size that you are processing. Supposing if it is 1920 pixel, the sharpness is less. Supposing if you are making a 10 by 12 or 12 by 18 print, the sharpness you have to increase little bit because the size of the print is big. If you are making 20 by 30 size print, huge print, you have to give more sharpness, because when the distance from the subject to our eyes, it depends on the size of the print that we hold. 1920 pixel is nothing but 4 by 6 postcard size. We hold it in the hand and see. The distance between the eyes and the hand is just about 1.5 feet. If 12 by 18 is there, we keep at a distance of 10 feet or 8 feet and see it, because it's a big print. There you need more sharpness. From that view, from that distance, you have to view the print. If the print is too big, you have to stand about 10 feet or 12 feet away and see. So the sharpness you have to give more, but all the sharpness is lying in your picture. But how much to give, it depends on your size of the image that you are making. So this is wrong, giving so much of sharpness. And making a bird, if the small bird is there, don't blow it up and show. And however much it is there, you show exactly, but you have to crop it properly and show it. So this is one of the very rare bird, which normally not many people would get that, which is very, very rare. But this picture will never be successful in any salons because it is very small in the whole frame. But I cannot make it as a very big to please the judges, which becomes very wrong in nature. We cannot make a small bird like this to the size of the quail and show them. So that is why most of the very rare pictures will not be successful because of various reasons. Very common like this or this, it will be successful because of the size or the subject matter which fills in the frame. Silhouette. Silhouette is very, very beautiful, and this will be very good for your presentations or anything. But to improve upon this, I may add a sun like this, which for me, it gives a beautiful wow factor. But for salons and all, it will not be good, or they may not like it, or they may not accept it, though it is good. So you have to be careful what to include and what to exclude, or all those things, and to include anything separately also. Like this picture, this can go only for open section, not for nature section. This can go for nature section because this natural, how you have shot. This you have incorporated or manipulated image. But it is creative image. This is creative digital image. So in silhouette also, this is one of the very rare bird. It's a green-winged sunbird taken in Sikkim. But this will never get accepted in salon because most of the judges, they don't like any silhouette. They want all the details and all the beautiful lighting and different things like that. So when you take a picture, when I said this, you will be satisfied, but I will not be satisfied because I have seen beautiful greens here, beautiful different cyan colors on these patches, and there are variations in the water color itself. Though the well of the water is beautiful, but colors I am not pleasing. But many people after taking this, they are very happy. But you must get back those colors like this. So how much time it takes? So for me, when the exposure is perfect, this exposure is perfect for me, no matter. It is 95%, it is perfect. But that 5% I am losing in colors and in lighting. What I saw, I am not getting. So that 5%, I get it in processing. You know how much time I take? 20 to 30 seconds, not minutes. 20 to 30 seconds, I get back my original image. So if your image is perfectly exposed, perfectly composed, everything, the time you spend in front of the computer is very, very less. If your picture is very bad and you have to do so many things because you have not taken more time while shooting, you are sitting in front of the computer more time and spending more time on your processing to get back that. So if you get the exposure perfect, your effect, everything, that 5% what is missing, what we call as punch, that you get it in 30 seconds to 40 seconds. If you spend more time in one picture, that means your initial picture is not good enough. And here another picture of a Malabar giant squirrel. The tail is missing. But for me, this is okay. Because as a naturalist, as a nature photographer, the whole this thing, it shows beautifully well. The spotlight on the face, everything. But in salons, because the tail is cut, they don't accept it. Stupidity of judges. If the judges are not naturalists, if they have not worked well in wildlife, they cannot judge all this. So your picture, whether it gets award in one salon or in the same picture in another salon gets rejected, it depends on those judges. And somebody was asking one of the questions: can we take low angle picture? If not eye to eye level, it's always difficult to get eye to eye level. Of course, here you can see I'm standing on the ground and it is about 30 feet above my camera. There is a Himalayan barbet, a Himalayan blue-throated barbet, which is 35 feet, 30 feet above. And with 600 mm I shot. No problem. With the use of proper telelens, you will get. Otherwise, like this, I am just eye to eye level on this Ponderan in Bharatpur. So this gives a better treatment to the picture and it beautifies the image if it is eye to eye level. Like this, a purple rumped sunbird male sitting on a flower. It's an eye to eye level. And here you can see how much sharpness you need in wildlife. The picture should be sharp enough and you have to focus onto the eye. And nowadays with the fantastic cameras where they track the eye and you can define whether it is people or animal or airplane or anything, you keep it in that mode. Wherever the bird moves, the focusing doesn't shift and you can do so many things. So this particular color tones as well as the sharpness, it has to be same. And even if you blow it up, you can see the sharpness. And it is, once the sharpness doesn't have anything to do with depth of field. Many people, they get confused. This picture I shot at f4. And not many people, they don't use f4. I love the bokeh that I get in f4. And the sharpness, because of the lens, I use 600 mm prime lens, I get the ultimate sharpness. If you focus on the eye, the whole body will be focused. What else you want? Why do you need depth here? I don't want to show depth. And here, even if you blow it out only to the head, you can still see the sharpness and still see the various colored tones on the body. So friends, thank you so much for your kind listening. And I hope I did my work in explaining you the whole concept of wildlife photography, understanding wildlife photography and lessons from the wild. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you, Mr. Satish. It was a wonderful and very, very eye-opening webinar. Your work
Thank you,
are
sir.
mind-blowing, particularly the insect macro photography
Okay.
was excellent. While
Thank you, sir.
seeing your presentation,
Yeah.
few doubts came to my mind, which may also benefit the viewers.
Okay.
May I ask you?
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, just regarding a little bit about the metering, whether you want matrix metering, center weight, or spot metering, what shutter speed you use, or what you do, whether aperture priority, shutter priority, under what circumstances, and
Yes.
then another thing, you said the government takes away the horns of this rhino, which is its a defensive organ. How far
Yes.
it is ethical to remove the horns from the
Yeah.
rhinos? Then they are means they cannot defend themselves. It is part of their defensive organs.
Yeah.
And usage of teleconverter, you never mentioned.
Can I answer one by one, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Metering and shutter
Yeah,
speed.
metering. See, usually I use aperture priority. I keep at whatever the aperture that I want, and I use minimum of 400 ISO or 600 ISO. Sometimes I use 2500 ISO also. So shutter speed, I see that I maintain at least 1/60th to 200 minimum, but most of the times I also use 500 or 1000 shutter speeds,
When the
depending
VR
on
is
the action.
when the VR is on, like your image stabilization is on or off?
See, if you handhold it, you need image stabilization. If you keep on the tripod, you don't need image stabilization. So with the image stabilization on also, whatever you want the setting. So the priority you have to select whether you want a high shutter speed or the aperture that you are prioritized about. And the metering, you said I always keep at matrix metering only for the birds which are in the backlighting or with the dark background. I keep spot center weight. Spot I never use it. Spot I never use it. And when I am using matrix metering, if the background is too dark, I use evaluative metering. I reduce to 1 or 1.7 or 2, like that, depending on the darkness of the background.
Exposure compensation, you mean?
Exposure compensation.
Okay. And regarding the horns on the
Yes.
rhinos.
Yes. So now the horns are removed to save the rhinoceros. So you want the horns. Horns is important for you or the animal?
No, but the animal has to survive in wild.
No. See, animal has to survive in the sense that grows. Actually, it is a hair. So that grows. So if the horn is too long, the poachers will kill it and take only the horns. The whole of the body is lost. So to save the animal, they chop off the long horns so that they can save the animal. That horns slowly grows. So by that time, the life is also over for that naturally. And defensive mechanism is not very important in rhinoceros because they don't fight for the territory or for anything like that. But it is needed for the defensive mechanism. But most of this thing, whatever the small little bit horns it has got, it gives a very good kick. But generally it doesn't happen. But to save the animal, they do it. Not for every animal, only for those which has got very long this thing which they think it may get poached, not for all animals.
Rather than catching the poachers.
No, I'll tell you the management of Assam Forest Department is at the highest level. They have saved thousands of rhinos and they have captured thousands of poachers. Now the poaching, which was at nearly about 92% or 90%, now it is at 6 or 7%.
That's great. That they should.
Yeah. So it is very, very minimalized. It is like bringing down the Naxalites and other people, no, just to that level, they brought down to almost to 5 to 6% coaching.
You never mentioned about teleconverter, using a teleconverter.
I don't use a teleconverter. I use very rarely, but though I bought it some time back, I have used only for 2 times or 3 times. Generally, whatever the subjects that you have seen, they are all taken with 600 mm or 80 to 400 mm. So I have not taken anything with 1.4x. I don't prefer or suggest 2x converter. I suggest only 1.4x converter, which is sufficient. And it gives very good sharpness also than 2x converter.
Okay. When you are using this multiple flashes for these tiny objects, insects, from the practical point of view, first thing like positioning the flashes behind both the sides, the insect may get disturbed, it may fly away. Then measuring the exposure, fixing the proper exposure, it must be taking. Then again repositioning, refocusing them must be taking a lot of time. The insects remain like that till that time?
Yes, sir. Some of the insects and other things it will remain. So we have to gauge. Once if we find the subject, we have to gauge the distance and where we can keep and how to move, how slowly we can place the tripods. Because I use these small tripods to mount my flashes. So I can position it, and first, when I'm positioning, I give the reading of the flash, everything. So finally, when I take this thing, if there is any minute corrections, I just bring the flash little back or front, depending on the lighting.
TTL metering or manual?
No, sir, it's totally manual metering, no TTL.
So you just change the distance of the flash. It must be tiny flashes, not the speed lights, smaller flashes?
No smaller flash, sir. I use the Nikon SB 910 and this Godard's V1 and another Vivitar flash 285. So like that.
So
I use all this and all kept in manually only. One of the flash I keep in 1/16th of output, another I keep at 1/4 output, another I keep at 1/8 or 1/60th output, like that, depending on how much light I want to have.
So the fill light from the camera angle, because the trigger is on the camera when we are using multiple Godox flashes. So you use one flash from the camera angle also?
The flash which is on the camera, I put one diffuser in front of the flash. So from the front, it diffuses everything. Whatever the lighting that I get, the side lighting or the back lighting, that doesn't have a diffuser. Because I need a bright light there. It is a sharp light I want. Whereas in the front, I want diffused light, not the sharp light.
Okay.
Like you use in portrait, no, sir. It is the same for this thing also. If you want a key light or a side light or a kick light, you have to use a direct this thing, which is more than the front this thing. Very similar to this, but it has to be very precise because the subject is very small.
And where do you find these insects? We go to gardens, jungle.
Yes, sir. We have to go to the forest. In the gardens, we don't find. In the gardens, because of so many things, they don't have the host plants or the natural plants. It's all cultivated plants and other things, which usually the insects or butterflies and all, they don't come to feed or don't come there. So in the forest, they get all natural things. So we go to the forest only. There we find so many insects and butterflies and so many subjects we get.
I must admire your patience, courage, and observation in capturing
Thank
those
you, sir.
macro unimaginable.
Thank you,
But
sir.
they were just mind blowing. I am
Thank
sure
you so much.
many of the participants today they must have enjoyed your macro photography like I
Okay.
did, like did. So
Thank
now
you.
there are not too many questions, of course.
Actually, they had sent some questions in the chat.
Yes.
Like while photographing birds, it's difficult to take eye-level shots that I have already explained. And if we achieve background blur using Photoshop, are we allowed to use those pictures in nature section? If it is a natural blurred background, it is allowed. And in Photoshop, if you use any blurred background tool, you have to use it to a little minimum thing. You should not make it as a very plain screen, which becomes obvious. So the picture should not show obvious blurring. It should be natural. So otherwise, only the blur background is allowed.
So during the presentation, some questions have come up in the chat box. One is one Mr. Madhav Punde. Uh, he has asked how to understand behaviors of various animals, birds, without going to the jungle. Are there any source of this information? Any reading material?
They have to read lot of materials. See, if you go to the jungle, you can face to face, you can learn the nature's stories and nature's behavior. Otherwise, if you don't go to the jungles to know about them, you have to read many, many books and many days you have to spend time in for reading. Then you will get, actually, you have to understand through books also, through discussions, through personal experiences.
Somebody has asked, his name is not there, I'm sorry, but how the artificial intelligence has influenced in your all genre of photography?
See, artificial intelligence, I'm not using any this thing. And all our cameras are fitted with artificial intelligence only. And even the Photoshop also nowadays, they have come with so many tools fitted with, incorporated with AI tools, which is inbuilt. And many people, they have got confusion between AI creation and AI tools. Using AI tools is allowed. It is only a tool which you can improve. Using those tools, you can improve your images. But AI creation is entirely different, where nowadays you are seeing in social media how you can put some other subjects into your image and create so many other things. That is not allowed. That is nothing but digital creation. Digital creation, we do it manually in Photoshop. AI does on its own and in its own way. So AI tools, using AI tools is no harm, and all our cameras are incorporated with AI tools like focusing. It is nothing but AI tool, fast focusing and precise focusing, tracking of animals, birds, and for focusing, tracking. All those things is nothing but AI tools. You have to understand and differentiate between these two.
Only it is making our life little easier
Exactly. Yeah.
rather than manipulating.
And another thing I want to tell is that, see, we were using manual cameras way back in 30, 40 years back. And when the digital came into existence, many of our generation people, we thought that the end, it is the end. So the digital has come and there is no value for analog cameras or films or things like that. But our life or our photography journey has not stopped there. We have changed ourselves to digital. So now we are using digital everywhere. So even in Photoshop, if you go back about 15 years, 20 years back, the Photoshop was very basic. we were finding it difficult even to remove spot, sensor dust or something, or even to remove a particular disturbance in the picture. Now the AI has come, and with a click of a button, everything goes off, and it has made life easy. See, we have to change ourselves to the technology. Otherwise, we will be left in the race. This is the race. If you don't change, you are left in the race.
Yeah.
So you have to participate in this kind of challenges, and we have to improve ourselves.
Somebody, one Mr. Ramya Roy has asked, what is aiming in the high means? I don't understand what exactly. Is Mr. Ramya Roy
No.
still there?
Actually, I feel that aiming.
In a webinar, sir, you have said about aiming high in your presentation, right? So that's what I am asking. I don't know what that means.
Try to get
See, you have seen my presentation from the basic level, like how I have been shooting with like all others. But you have seen in the end how I changed it and changed my style and aiming for the high. So that is the transformation from the basic level to the high level. That is what is aiming high. You have to aim high for anything and everything in all genres of photography, whether it is portraiture or nature or landscape or wildlife. Your aim should be very high. Yeah.
aim in type of quality of image.
Growth in your
correct growth. Yeah.
Same Madhav Punde has asked, do you use manual focus or autofocus in macro photography?
See, I have paid nearly 4 lakh rupees for my camera and 6 lakh rupees for my 600 f4. Why? Because the quality of the lens, because the fast focusing that it can do, and the camera, what precisely it can focus. When I have paid, I have to make use of the technology. That is what I said. You have to change with the technology. When you have changed the equipments, because it has got so many excellent tools and excellent functions, which makes your photography easier, then why manual focusing? It gives precise focusing in fraction of a second. For manual focusing, you may take 4 seconds or 5 seconds. At times, for wildlife photographers like me, 4 seconds is also important. I want to save 4 seconds. I want to save 5 seconds. So I put air focusing, and it will be precise. It will be exact, and my tension comes down. My work will be much faster. I can aim only for the action shots. I don't aim for focusing, because once I just press one button on the eye, it will track continuously wherever it goes. Then I can anticipate more action and keep taking pictures of action pictures or things like that. Otherwise, whenever it is moving, you keep manual focusing. It's a waste of time.
No, he's saying is no, it's about macro photography.
It was a sir. This was for macro photography.
Even for macro photography, I use autofocus only. It is very fast and it is precise.
Yes. One Mr. Gaurav Pandey has asked whether dodging and burning in wildlife photography is allowed or not.
Yes, it is allowed.
Everything is
allowed.
Then, of course, there are a lot of questions on the quality of our judges and this thing that is debatable. This is not the platform we can discuss that. But we may have a special webinar on that about judging the pitfalls of. Totally, we are planning to dedicate one webinar. Calling few experts, judges, and regarding judging, we are planning to have a webinar. Maybe it may take a month or two. please bear with us. Thank you very much. If anybody else has any questions, please ask.
Sir, I'm Kirish Kapoor. I must thank Satish for the wonderful presentation. One may ask
Thank
so
you,
many
sir.
questions, but his presentation was something master. And today I feel that
Thank
you
you,
are
sir.
real master of the photography, Indian photography master. Yes, everything was perfect.
Thank you,
Every
sir.
photograph was perfect, everything. And your presentation was really nicely selected. My compliments, sir. I salute you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your
Sir,
blessings.
you can put, you
few
can put your
comments.
words in writing in the chat box.
I will do that. Sir,
Kapoor sir, please.
because I'm not having computer here right now with me because I'm traveling somewhere.
Okay.
So I'm falling on mobile.
This group will be open for a few days more.
I will do,
You
sir.
can,
I will do,
at
sir.
your convenience. Please
I
put
will do it, sir, today only.
Satish sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Kashi here.
Heli Kashi.
Hedila, the thing is, this mirrorless has made your photography easier or to change your style or anything?
No, sir. Easier in the sense, see, I have practiced this type of photography, getting used to the equipments very fast, and I don't. Once if I am in the field, I set all my settings first, and I keep on shooting. And if I take 100 images, 98 images will be perfect. And I don't regret for those two pictures. It's a human error. It's not camera error. Maybe. So that type of work I have practiced from 42 years. So right from manual cameras, giving precise exposures on the spot, I have practiced. Same thing I continued with digital. Digitally, it became more easy. And mirrorless, it's not just easy. The weight is reduced much. A lot of weight is reduced. So that's how, see, now coming to one stage in my photographic career in 42 years, I have reached a level at which I cannot make any errors now. If I shoot 10 pictures, the 10 pictures should be perfect in composition and in exposures. If I make any mistakes, then I am still an amateur, not a professional. So to maintain that level, I have to keep in pace with all the technologies, and whatever the cameras or the lenses is providing, I have to use it regularly, and I should know exactly when to use it, what a tool. That is most important.
I fully agree. 10 days I was with you in a tour. You never look at the preview.
Yes, sir.
Sir, it's a pleasure going with him, sir. Always pleasure.
Sir, the hands were raised by two more persons.
Hello.
One Akasta Manjunath and one
Akshita
Mr.
Manjunath. Yes, sir.
Akshita.
That is me.
Yeah.
Hi, Satish sir. This is Akshita from
Hi,
Coimbatore.
Akshita.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation.
Thanks a lot for attending.
Sir, my question is when animal or a bird is behind the grass, what kind of focus do you use? Because I've been struggling with that, and the focus always goes on to something brighter or on the grass, or by the time I'm able to focus on the animal or the bird, it just moves away.
Yes. See, actually, in focusing, there are so many tools that which can use. One is spot metering, one is continuous. Not metering, the focus. One is spot focusing, another continuous, another dynamic, another 3D, like that. So many.
Okay.
So when there are grass, if you keep it in dynamic or in 3D, it focuses the nearest thing. So usually, if the subject is behind the grass, it will focus onto the grass. So that time you have to remove that and use spot focusing, single focus point.
Okay.
So you aim that single focus point onto the subject. Then whatever the grass is there in front, it will not get focused.
Okay, what about the metering mode, sir? Is there any change in that?
See, metering mode, when the lighting conditions are even, when the sunlight is falling even, or when there is just 5 or 10% variation in the background's lighting or anything, matrix metering is the best always.
Okay.
And when you are taking a single bird, only the single bird with the background or in a good lighting, center weight is always better.
Okay. Okay.
So usually I have not used spot metering, but I never got that opportunity to use.
Okay.
So only these two things I use it, and I get perfect exposures always.
Okay.
And as I said, when the subject there is a black background, particularly black or dark back shadows at the back of the subject, you have to use exposure compensation, that is minus 0.3 to minus 0.71, depending on the shadows.
Okay. So when I'm shooting a bird against the sky, sky is bright and the bird will be in the form of a silhouette. So that time I need to keep it plus, right? So that I can get some details on the
Overexposure.
birds.
See, actually, against the sky, it will not give you silhouette. So, to get more shadow, this thing, you don't have to use evaluative metering there. You can
Okay.
use spot metering immediately.
Okay. Okay.
So that gives a much better. That's why I said if you keep for birds center weight, it gives perfect exposures.
Okay, sir.
Even in this condition, what you mentioned
Okay.
against sky, center weight it gives perfect exposure.
Okay. Okay. That's all for me. Thank you so much for all
Now
the
thank
information.
you, Akshita.
Thank you.
Now I
Thanks a lot.
invite Vinay to ask his question.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello. Good evening.
My question is, how to change settings while for bird photography or wildlife, because some animals are nearby or far away, or birds are so how to adjust setting, or sometimes light also different in different positions, so how to change those settings. And one more thing is for nearby birds or animals, whether you are using 100 lens or and for then how to change lenses. It is because in between you might miss maybe one move or anything while changing 100 for 400 or 500, and maybe wide one you are using for near one. So how you are changing lenses, or you are using only one lens?
See, actually, I have got so many lenses. I use 105
Okay.
mm for macro lens for macro photography. I don't use
Okay.
it for either wildlife or birds. So I have got 80 to 400 mm, which I use it for wildlife. That is animals, only animals. So I don't use 600 mm or 105 mm for animals. So animals means if I am shooting animals, only 80 to 400 mm, it will fill all my animals at whatever the distance. So that zoom, it gives you advantage. If it is very far, I can put it at 400 mm and shoot. If the elephant comes very near, or if the Indian gaur comes near, I can shoot at 150 mm or 200 mm like that. So I
Okay.
use 600 mm only for birds which are at a far. Usually birds, they don't come very close to you. So
Yes, correct.
even if they are sitting at about 25 feet or 30 feet, all the birds are
Mm.
very small. So
Yes.
for that distance, 600 mm it will fill the frame and it will give perfect composition and perfect filling. So for
Okay.
wildlife means it is not that you have to carry only 100 mm and shoot everything in 100 mm or 200 mm if you have. So being a
Okay.
wildlife photographer, you should have all these kind of lenses, different lenses.
Okay.
and different
No, but at
variety.
the time of shooting, how you are changing lens? Because maybe one animal is closer to you. So if you are using two different cameras and
Yeah,
with different lenses,
two bodies.
or
I always carry two bodies fitted
okay,
with two different focal lenses.
okay,
So you
okay,
cannot change lenses in the field because it is always dusty. So dust will be
yes,
rising and it will be very difficult to open your camera body and change the lenses. So it's always
okay,
better to have two bodies fitted with two different focal lengths. One
okay,
reason is for the, like you said, if the bird is very close, you can shoot in one lens. If the animal is too far, you can shoot with other lens like that. The other thing is
yes,
if after going for a very far area like Africa, or if I go to Northeast or anywhere, if any problem is there in one of the bodies, I can utilize other body. So
okay,
that advantage you should have. Otherwise, it
yes,
will be
okay,
very difficult.
Thank you,
okay.
Vinay, for your question.
And one more thing is,
I would like to invite other people, Vinay. You may leave
okay,
the question, it may be answered subsequently. Uh,
okay, okay.
okay. Now I invite Vivek to ask his question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
I am Vivekanand from Chennai.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Sir, regarding the macro photography, you said instead of manual focus, you can use the auto one. But in modern days cameras, when you go for a manual focus, there is a thing called focus peaking.
Yes.
And it's very helpful when you go in with that manual focus, because in autofocus, many times the lens goes for, it hunts the insect and you get a problem there. But manual focus has become very easy due to this focus peaking advantage. What do you think?
Yes, yes. Yes, of course, you can use it. In fact, it is very convenient. So that's what I said. It is a convenience of an individual photographer, how he can choose what he wants. So I'm used to this kind of this thing. So I'll try this focus peaking and let me try how fast I can focus it.
Yeah, yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Satish, what he's saying is right. While focusing, the moment it focuses, the peaking starts, and you know that you have
Yes.
arrived at right
Yes.
focus.
Yes.
You know where all
Correct,
the
correct.
sharpness is instantly, you can know.
In less
Yes,
contrasting
yes.
situation where autofocus is not delivering, this focus picking helps.
Yes, yes. Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now there is last question we will take up from Mr. A participant with the name of user. Kindly introduce yourself and ask your question.
So this is Kashi again. So nowadays, all the photographers have a big question in their mind. They are going for a new camera. They thought, or they think that more megapixel, the better the picture. And the less megapixel, they may not be satisfied. Is that true? And what exactly the megapixel you choose for the wildlife? For wedding photographers like us, what do you suggest?
See, this megapixel, you don't have to scratch your head because when the digital was introduced, it was just about very 5 megapixel or 8 megapixel. And still people were shooting product shoots and fashion shoots, and they were making a huge posters and hoardings and all. They were getting fantastic images. Then it came to 15 megapixel, then 25 megapixel. Now what I have got is the 45 megapixel. I am thinking what to do with it. I don't have any work for a 45 megapixel because all my images, what I produce is very small, and it will be, if I make a print 12 by 18, I'm very happy. And sometimes for the exhibition, I make 20 by 30 inches. That is the biggest blow up I have done in this. But this camera can make at least 15 by 20 feet image. you can make easily one print. So what is the need of 45 megapixel and all? And particularly when it comes to weddings, you asked, I'm sure that you are not going to give your clients more than 8 by 12 or 10 by 8, 12 by 18 size prints. For that, 45 megapixel is not at all required. So you don't have to spend 4 lakh rupees on your cameras. It's all waste. And once if the album is turned in here and there in 1 hour, then for lifetime, they are not going to see the album again. So it's a waste of spending 45 megapixel or anything. If you have 15 to 20 megapixel, you will get the very good quality. There is no hard feelings there. The quality will be very good. You can be happy with it. You don't have to change the camera.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Satish.
Yeah.
Sir, you give your concluding remarks, sir.
So, yeah. Thank you very much for Chhayankan. It was a fantastic webinar for me. And I hope all your fellow members, they liked the presentation. And as always, I keep trying my level best to help Chhayankan and to promote art of photography. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Satish sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for attending.
And
My
we
pleasure, always pleasure.
thank all our participant friends who encourage us by their presence again and again. And all the senior photographers who have attended today, we are grateful to them. Keep encouraging us. Thank you. Thank you very
We are
much.
thankful to Chhayankan also for
Sir, I
arranging
would
this
like
fantastic.
to, sir, I would like to share one particular thing. Satish sir has specially prepared this presentation on our request, where he has covered the entire gamut of wildlife photography, right from animals to the birds to the insects. Probably so far, this is the first webinar we have seen where all the three domains have been covered so beautifully. And so much of learning he has shared with every picture. I'm sure it's like YouTube video itself, people should watch time and again, because those who are having little interest in the wildlife photography, they will have lot of things to know. So on behalf of Chhayankan, I would like to thank Satish sir for taking such a pain.
Anytime, sir. Anytime for Chhayankan.
Yes, sir.
One of the best video, one of the best webinar in last few years.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks
Kapoor
for
sir.
your kind words.
And I would personally like to thank Satish sir, Tirth Das Gupta sir, Vimal Parmar sir, Deep Bhatia sir, and many other who have encouraged us in this webinar by their active participation. We'll continue to be doing this. My personal thanks to Vijay Agrawal sir once again, always, for taking out time out of his busy schedule and adding so much of the kind of questions he raised was learning to all the participants who were present at that point of time. Now, at a closing note, I would say that this week is very, very happening week. A lot of celebration already set from today. People are in celebration moods. Merry Christmas. Lot of
Happy New Year
best
to you all.
wishes for the happy New Year. And 2026, we are looking forward to be coming up with more events for everyone. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chhayankan and
Merry
Vijay sir.
Christmas and
Wonderful
Happy
evening.
New Year to all.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Satish sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Good night.
So I'm closing the meeting now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.